How's it going? So today we're back with day 10 of using AI to launch a trading bot. The way we do this is we go basically day 0 through 9, right? And review the results of those days. And then after that, we go ahead and launch a new trading bot. And again, I use AirPods for my audio, so it's a little fucked, but it should be okay. So anyways, let's go ahead and kick it off. Day 0, we had the 5-minute SMA crossover strategy. Let's go ahead and review the performance of that strategy, right? And historically, it's been a loser, but yeah, I mean, so we still are down $8,665. We still have only taken one trade. This trade took place on the 3rd of November. So since the 3rd of November, about 15 days, 2 weeks, we've only taken one trade, and it's been a pretty tremendous loser. $8,665 loss on this one. Next strategy is the RSI overbought, oversold on the 5-minute. And this has been pretty much our only winner so far. And indeed, it's a gain of $4,177. So net, we're still down like $4,000 on our portfolio. I think it took a couple trades today. Yeah. Took a couple trades today. We made about $40 profit. So not bad on that one. After that, we have day 2, which is the RSI divergence strategy. Now, this one was down net, down $16,000. Yesterday, when we checked it, it was down only like $3,000. Okay, so we have it running on Tesla and NVIDIA. Tesla had like a $12,000 gain. But today I haven't checked it. So let's see what the damage is. Today was a pretty rocky day in the market. Yeah. So we lost about $7,000 today for a net P&L of $10,473 loss on the RSI divergence strategy. And it's taken 124 trades. The fees are kind of getting absurd, but you got to love that $69 fees. But yeah. So we had that huge day yesterday for Tesla. But again, NVIDIA tanked today, looks like, while Tesla stayed pretty constant. Our trades on Tesla stayed pretty constant. So net, we're down 10 grand. So our portfolio now at this point is down around 15 grand, which is shit, So again, if this was your portfolio, right, and you had the ability, you had foresight, right? And we do, because we have back testing and stuff like this, right? We probably would have never started these strategies to begin with. But I mean, again, it all depends on your risk tolerance and your ability to stick to, the plan, even when things get rocky. Because again, I don't recall the back test for day 0 and day 2. But if I recall, they were losing strategies to begin with, right? And that's why we're seeing, in real time, the losses, right? Anyways, moving on to day 3, we have these eyeball emoji, which means it back tested really, really well. And so again, I don't think it's taken a single trade yet, but let's go ahead and see if anything's changed. Yep, still no trades on the mean reversion strategy, which is unfortunate because again, I'm looking forward to actually seeing a trade on this. And let's move on to day 4, the MACD crossover. Nothing really, outstanding here. We have a $631 loss. I mean, it's been pretty volatile, swinging from, again, you can see here, it has been downtrend overall, but I mean, if we go back to last week, we have swings of, 700, 650, 730. So we're have like $100 swings back and forth on our profit this week. So anyways, we'll keep an eye on this one, but it's nothing too major yet. Let's move on to day 5, Bollinger Band squeeze strategy. So again, this one has the eye emoji, which is something that I'm looking forward to. It back tested really, really well. But let's go ahead and check the performance on this one. Still no trades, which, kind of gets, in this section, I don't think any one of these so far has gotten any trades, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so nothing on day 6. On day 7, nothing still. Day 8, this is a strategy that I built for Peter, one of my YouTube subscribers. He wanted the orb strategy, which is the opening range breakout strategy. And again, if you want a strategy, just leave it in the comments wherever you're seeing this on LinkedIn, Twitter, or X, or YouTube. Just leave it in the comments and I'll test it for you. But his back test, I mean, it took like hardly any trade. I think it took like one trade during the and it was a loser, right? But again, maybe I didn't set up the settings right. So if you have any comments on like the settings or the tickers I'm using, just let me know and I'll change those and we can kind of experiment. But again, still no trades for Peter's opening range breakout strategy. And then day 9, which was yesterday, is the dual moving average crossover strategy. This did not backtest super great. But I mean, yeah, it has a P&L of negative 19 cents. And it's associated with fees, but I don't quite know because we haven't taken any trades. So that's kind of odd. I probably need to research this. I'll take a screenshot and send it to my engineer. But so that concludes the review of basically all the historical bots that we built. Also, Socks Mariko, hello, cool kid. I like the Ulu thing. That's from Twitter. Love that. Anyways, so now we move on to the second portion where we actually build our bot in the AI trading strategy assistant. So so far, again, we've done these 9 strategies, but on day 10, we're going to try and do something that we haven't done in the past. And so we do that, right? That's because, again, like no commenters left any strategy recommendations yesterday, right? Or anything new. So we're just going to go ahead and ask the AI to give us an idea for a trading strategy, right? And so it'll give us, we ask for 10, it'll give us a list of 10. We'll compare each one of the list to what we have built so far, and then we'll just pick one that we haven't done yet. And then when we run out of those, which we will shortly, right? It's inevitable that we'll run out of these things. We'll just ask the AI to give us more trading strategies, and we'll just continue to test every single one of them. And we could do option strategies, we could do whatever. And again, if you have any strategy you want to be tested, just let me know. So anyways, let's go through this one by one. The moving average crossover strategy. We have the SMA crossover strategy. I think that's the exact same thing. Yeah, I believe it's so. I assume this is a simple moving average, not an exponential moving average. But we will do both. But for right now, let's skip this one because it's effectively it's going to be a similar strategy to this and might be a little boring. So RSI overbought, oversold. That one we have right here. Bollinger Band squeeze, is day 5. We already have that one. MACD crossover. Yep, day 4. We have that one taken care of. Stochastic oscillator divergence. We have stochastic overbought reversal. So we haven't done this one here. So we could do this one. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we'll do this one. If there's no objections, we'll continue with this one. So right here. So we just go like this. So please build me a trading bot using the stochastic oscillator divergence. And again, I'm not familiar with the strategy whatsoever. Literally my first time ever seeing stochastic oscillator divergence. I have no idea. But again, the AI makes it simple. If I wanted to learn more about this strategy or any of these strategies, I just ask the AI to give me more information about them, right? Like the pros and cons, how to use them. But again, if I'm just ready to launch, the AI makes it really simple, really just like 4 questions. What time frame do I want? I'm gonna put on the 5-minute, even though it says the 1 hour. And that's because I want a bunch of trades. I want as many trades as I can get. So I could report back to you on a daily basis and hopefully have some updates for you, right? Entry condition. You mentioned a bullish divergence between price and a stochastic oscillator as the entry. What specific stochastic oscillator settings would you like to use? And how would you define a divergence in this context? So again, I am dumb. So I have no idea about these things. So I'm just going to say, please use popular default values. And again, it'll just pull in what everyone else uses, okay? Plain and simple, right? So we're going to try that. And then for the exit conditions, you mentioned the stochastic oscillator crossing below 80 is the exit condition. Is this the only exit condition, or would you like to take or would you like to include a take profit and stop loss? I'm going to say, yes, that is the only exit condition. And then 4, do you want the strategy to trade 24/7 or during specific hours. So if I wanted to, I could have the strategy trade at Tuesday at 9:45 for a 7-minute window, right? Between 9:45 and 9:50, what is it? 9:52 or whatever, right? So you can make this really, really niche and focused. But for the purpose of the demo, I'm just going to go ahead and say 24/7. But if you disagree with any of these things, and you know, want to see something tested that's specific to your strategy, you just go ahead and just comment, and again, we could test it, right? So after we answer all the questions on the AI or for the AI, it gives us a nice little summary here of what we're building. And then it also kind of, you know, basically we want to, the AI will give us sort of a warning saying that this is dangerous, right? Make sure, you know, it performs well under different market conditions, test it, blah, blah. But we know all that already because we've done this once or twice. And so we just press generate strategy. And now the AI is extracting the rules that we just gave it right here. And then it is now in the back end generating the code associated with this specific strategy in real time. And I'll tell you, like, I used to do this for like 3 years as a software development agency. Just the meeting that I had with my clients to get these instructions, right? These rules took like an hour. I would have to sit there and ask them questions. My engineer would have to ask them questions to get this out of them, right? But now in a matter of, you know, I don't know, probably like it's been like 3 minutes since we started building this thing. We're pretty much almost done, right? The code base has already been generated. Now the AI is literally just working on refining the structure of the code base, right? Which means it's going to be able to move really, really fast. And, you know, a lot of our bots can execute a trade in under 100 milliseconds, which is absolutely gnarly, right? But yeah, like I said, as we wait for this to load, we can see the AI actually thinking up here. If you have a strategy that you want tested, right? Like Peter said, the orb strategy, just leave it in the comments. And if you're into this stuff, if you're like a big nerd like me, feel free to follow, subscribe, whatever platform you're on. Again, I've been doing this like every single day, right? We'll test every single trading strategy until we've tested every single one, right? And then we could combine them, right? Look for confluences and then actually move over into options trading, do every single one there, look for confluences there, again, and just kind of nerd out, right? So it's going to be super, super exciting. And hopefully we find some winners, right? And then also it's like free information for you guys, right? If you were a trader and it's always good to kind of avoid the losers. Warren Buffett says, you know, rule number 1 is don't lose money. So, and we have a few in strategies in here that have like, you know, $10,000 losses. So there's a good amount that you could learn here. I'm going to shut up for a little bit and drink some fucking water. Cheers. So the strategy is done optimizing, done being refined by the AI. Now it's just in the last little section right here where it's being completed, and boom, the bot has been built. And right here, it just loaded up as strategy 32. We have the stochastic oscillator divergence, which is exactly what we wanted. We have the full description here. We have the settings, which we could edit at any point in time if we so choose. But for right now, we're just going to leave it as the default values. So this is day 10, stochastic oscillator divergence. This is where we're going to set up the bot later. But before we get into the bot launching, we're going to actually just backtest real quick, right? So this backtest, right, is super simple to use. You just type in, actually, we do want to test Apple first. It's the one we test, you know, to kind of keep it a constant. We're going to look back 100 days and then run this backtest, right? And again, to build this custom, for you to have like a custom backtest engine built for you is like 100 grand. And a bot would be like 25 grand that we used to charge people, right? Which is like a car, right? But yeah, this backtester pulls that stochastic oscillator divergence strategy, pulls in the last 100 days of Apple data, right? And we're using the 5-minute chart. So literally every 5 minutes, it's pulling data for the last 100 days, right? And it's putting it through our strategy and figuring out when we're going to buy and sell every single time, right? You can see this full chart of entries and exits. and it resulted in 47 trades, a 55% win rate, a small profit, nothing to write home about, a decent profit factor, again, nothing to write home about. So this strategy is really vanilla. It's it's boring. It's not going to lose you money. It'll make you, a couple bucks, but you're not beating inflation. You're not beating any benchmarks. It's really not going to be doing much for you. But that's on Apple. So let's go ahead and check NVIDIA. And again, you could use any ticker you want to backtest. So if again, and also crypto, again, you could backtest options trading strategies. You have to specify. So in this case, we didn't specify that it was an options trading strategy. So if you specify in the AI chat that you want options data, then it will give you the ability to kind of to have options data here. But yeah, NVIDIA looks worse. We have 52 trades, about the same win rate, which is cool. But in this case, we have a net loss of $100. But yeah, again, it's nothing. It's nothing in either direction, right? Like the loss, it's a loss, but it's not like holy shit. Like we're going to expect a blood. This is a boring strategy. There's no winners and there's really no losers. It's pretty much middle of the road, which obviously you want to stay away from, right? You would never use this strategy and expect anything, anything but like not like making $0 is a loss, right? You could put your money into a bond, right? A treasury bond that's absolutely risk-free and make money, right? But you're taking risk here by doing this. So you want to make, considerably more money, right? So Tesla, you're losing about $300, worst win rate. Yeah, this strategy is not good. But what we do here is we have backtested it. I would never launch a strategy on, I would go and look for another strategy, right? But again, for the sake of data, right? We are going to actually launch our bot. And one thing I'm thinking, because, we have all these bots going, is I might have run out of capital, right? We are operating on a paper trading account, but I'm using 10% of my 10% on like every single bot. So we might be, you can only have so many, bots running at one time. Now, for example, if we have 10% of our portfolio and we have 10 bots running, that's 100%, 10 times 10, right? So what we're doing here is not going to work over the long term. I might have to adjust some things on the back end offline before we launch again tomorrow. But we're going to launch this strategy. And again, I speak a lot, right? I fucking talk a lot. But while I was talking there, I didn't really explain, right? We selected Apple as a ticker. We selected NVIDIA as a ticker. We had 10% of our portfolio go to here and 10% of our portfolio go here. And we just literally clicked a button and we launched a bot, right? And that's basically as simple as it gets from a bot launch perspective, right? I've been doing this for 3 years. Insanely simple stuff. So again, if you have any questions, comments, if you have a strategy you want tested, comments. Beyond that, if you are into this shit and you're a nerd, feel free to follow for more. And if you know anyone who is a nerd, feel free to share this to them. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Take care.